Hello and welcome to today's crystal ball reading. So, I still have not been shopping, still only have the crystal ball and the Akashic Tarot. And that's all we have at the moment. But I will get more, I think, this weekend. I will be getting more this weekend. So, just bear with me for a moment, it will buffer, but I'm just going to share the stream, so it won't be a second. Michelle, hello. Just shared that I'm live, so a few more of you can find me. So let me know how the sound is. Is the sound okay? Don't want to talk too loud in here, in this room. So, okay. Michelle, Sid, Jasmine, and AA. I hope you are well. So, as I was saying just now, we still only have the crystal ball and the Akashic at the moment. I will be shopping this weekend. I hope. I will be getting more cards and things like that. But yeah, go ahead and ask your questions. I'm very well. I hope you are well. Go ahead and get your questions in, and we'll choose a card. One Akashic. Akashic. Miss Venus. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do think it's okay. It's the chair I'm sitting on is very, very wobbly. But yeah. Um just hired a room. I haven't hired this room before. Um well, thank you. Aries is the first question, I think. What's my partner's intentions and feelings after our disagreements? Okay. There does seem to be a stronger intention of moving out. That does come up quite strong. But apart from that, I don't feel like feelings have really changed. I think there's a bit of hurt and a bit of wanting to step back, but the actual feelings, the love energy is still there. So that was for Aries. Sorry, Jasmine. Should I give Marcus the money that he spent to buy my car battery or let it be a gift? Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing let it be a gift. So sometimes when we're opening our heart chakra, we have to be open to receive as well as being open to give, you know? Sid says, do I still need a protection spell for my parents' house every week? Okay. I do think you can lessen every week. I do think you can do less than that. Plain white background, great. I prefer outdoors and it's very, very warm. Well, it was very, very warm a moment ago. But this is nice and no loud cars here. I'm Jan, hello and welcome. So guys, if you are new, I am Venus and this is Secret Frequencies and I do readings on this channel all the time. Today we are doing Crystal Ball. So I know it's tiny, but Crystal Ball. So you can ask your specific questions for the Crystal Ball or you can choose a Akashic card and an Akashic card. So yes, go ahead and like the video, I greatly appreciate that. Aries says, will he still try to celebrate Valentine's Day with me, even though we had an argument? Okay, sorry. Yes. I guess a yes on that. Jan says, when is the last time Caden has thought about me and what did he think about me? Okay. I'm not picking too much up. It does feel like a very long time ago. It does feel like a very long time ago. If that's all I can say, I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments on my eyes, guys. I appreciate that. Sid says, do I still need protection spell for my flat every week? Okay. Again, I would say you can lessen this, I would say. Miss Venus, when do you see me potentially entering a romantic relationship? I'm actually super at peace at the moment in my Venusian vibes. Yes, okay. I get April. April is the month coming through for me at the moment. Aries says, our argument was about him not adding me back on Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat after our last fight just yet. He says he will do it on his own time. When will that be? Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not really seeing any intention to actually do that at the moment, which is unfortunate. So I would say it would be a long time. I can't get an exact time because the intention isn't there, but I would say it probably will be a long time, unfortunately. AA says Ash's thoughts for Elisa today, okay? I'm not getting anything for today. Maybe Ash is a little bit busy, maybe. Sid says, how often will I need protection spell for my parents' house? Okay. I would say you go to 2 to 3 weeks at the moment. Maybe try 3 and see how it goes. You know, save yourself a bit of money. Or 2 if you're a bit worried. But I can always check for you. You know, Miss Venus, how is my brother feeling now that we got the best possible outcome in the situation? Okay. I would say mostly a sense of relief. There is really there's a positive energy of putting things behind him. So I feel like he's very hopeful on putting this behind him. But yeah, I would say that there definitely is some relief. And you know, great, very great, of course. Jasmine says, what is Marcus's intentions with me? I'm just saying it's very great, you know? Jasmine says, what is Marcus's intentions with me? Should I date him? This is definitely an option as like a lesson kind of relationship, you know? It doesn't seem like a long term. Jasmine says, why did they have an upset on the 10th despite them hanging? Is it just she is upset? Caden hasn't been giving her as much time as they haven't been hanging out frequently, okay? Yeah, it's definitely about the time. It's definitely about feeling a little bit neglected and not having like a lot of attention. I would say yes, I would agree with that. Miss Venus, what do you see happening at the moment between O and I now? We are still talking almost daily, being silly, okay? I do feel like this part has entered more into the realm of possibility, you know, amplified, come more forward. I do kind of feel like he's coming back to the forefront a little bit, you know. Ella says, can you please check if I'll pass my exam on Monday? Okay, let's check. And I guess a yes. So that's amazing for Ella. Aries, and best of luck, of course. Aries, since we thought about him not adding me back to Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat since our last fight, when he removed me from his socials, what? He said he will add me back on his own time. Will he do it soon? I got a no on doing it soon. I'm sorry about that. Ella, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. AA says, how does Asha think about my WhatsApp display? Okay. I'm not really getting anything on that, so maybe he hasn't seen it yet, perhaps. I'm not really picking anything up. Sid says, how often will I need protection spell for my flat? Okay. Yeah, at the moment I would say maybe this one could go to 3 weeks or 2.5 maybe. Miss Venus, did I apply for his visa or will he be applying now? Okay. And I definitely get the energy of a very imminent energy. So he either did it very recently or was going to do it very soon. It's very in this chapter, it feels like. Aries says, will he ever move out of my home or will he just end up deciding to live with me permanently this year? At the moment, deciding to live permanently with you is still definitely at the forefront. It still definitely seems to be the most prominent option. Miss Venus. Oh no, I did that one. Hold on. Where am I up to? Jan, is it looking like someone will ask to be my Valentine this year? And will this person plan to do something with me? Unfortunately, I'm guessing a no on that. I am really sorry to say, but I am guessing a no on that. Ella says, could you please check how Sunday will be between Andrea and I? Okay. So I am picking up tension, I am getting tension, but I'm feeling very hopeful on the communication side. It feels like an openness of the heart and the throat, like more communication, more honesty, more feelings. So I feel good about that, but there does seem to be a bit of tension. Jasmine, if I date Marcus, how am I going to be able to transition from him to the guy from Gabe's or D? Like, how is this going to dissolve? Okay. Well, I'm seeing and what I did see, it will be a temporary relationship. It's not going to be like a permanent thing. So it's it should naturally kind of fizzle out on its own before another relationship. That's how it feels. On that path, on that option, you know. Sid says, can my Prince Puka fairy stop me from having nightmares? Okay. They can help. They can help with some calming energies and things like that. I think you need a few things because you also need to relax your own mind with a lot of the subconscious things coming through. Still have a dream interpretation to do for you, actually. Miss Venus, do you see April starting an actual romantic relationship or meeting new people? And possibility of starting, yes. I do feel that. At least knowing that's where you're heading, you know, it's that kind of energy. Like you both kind of know. Jan says we got yesterday that Emma's going to have a big upset on Valentine's Day this year too. Why is she going to be upset? Is Caden just refusing to hang out with her that day? Okay. It seems like they do hang out, but it's not for a very long time. Or there's some communication or conversation, but it's very brief. S. Leela, hello, welcome. Was this pizza thinking of me? Any feelings? Okay. Sorry about the sound of the chest. Very creaky. I'm sorry. Oh. Was this pizza thinking of me for S. Leela? Okay. There's definitely an indecision energy. It's like, in some ways, I'm over this connection, but in some ways, I can't quite let it go. That's how it feels. So it's a little bit up and down. Sid says, when do you see my astral angel being found? Within the next 3 days. Ari says I might decide not to be in a relationship with him if he doesn't add me back into his socials, since you should have already been past our last night, and he should have added me back by now, so when will it be? Yeah, I'm not getting a time on it because there's no intention of it. That's why the no timing is coming up. That's why I would just say it that it's not likely to be very soon or in this current chapter, because it's like there's no intention at all, unfortunately. But yes, I agree with you. I think that it's just normal, and you know, we're all on social media all the time. We need to be open and, you know, have our partners and our friends on there and everything. So so if you are new, I am Venus. This is Secret Frequencies. We do readings like this all the time. So we have crystal ball today. There's a small crystal ball, and we have Akashic Tarot. If you want a card, it's Akashic Tarot. But yeah, like I said, I will be getting more cards and things very soon. And does anybody want a bone reading? Because the bone reading stream last night was very quiet. If anyone can make tonight, I might do another one, but not if it's too quiet. Miss Tina says I posted a quick video of my evening last night. Such Venusian vibes. It was a whole vibe. Twin Flame saw the video. What did he think? Okay. It's a missing you feeling that comes up mostly, like a really missing you. Yeah, it's like feeling your energy almost there, you know. Please like the video if you haven't liked it already. I greatly appreciate that. Jan says, is Brian still truthful in keeping platonic intentions with me, or is he changing his mind and going back on what he said? Okay. No, I feel like not changing his mind. Aries, do you see any probability for us conceiving this year, and if so, when? Yeah, I get like last quarter of the year, like last 3 months of the year. Akashic for Sid. The Master Artisan, the 8 of Keys. Okay, so it is about like mastering a craft. It is about like sharpening your skills, becoming better at whatever you're already good at. You know, anything that's a skill, a talent, a gift, honing in on it, getting a lot better at it. You have the potential within you to do that, and you can and will do that. But it's the Eight of Keys, so it can also be a very positive omen surrounding the living situation as well. So where we're checking and seeing that the energy of the homes is nicer and may need less work, that resonates. Ashley says, how is the energy between me and Lee? Thank you. What does he think about me? Okay. This energy is a little bit better. It feels kind of like there's still a complexity with this where there's a little bit of a doubt as well as like this care and attraction and everything like that. But the care and attraction on the positive side is stronger with Lee. And the doubts and the kind of like hesitation, I guess, energy is a lot less. A card from Michelle, of course. There you are. So you have the Queen of Scrolls. Okay. So the Queen of Scrolls, generally it does link more to, Scrolls is about learning, it's about study, your job, you know, it can be about anything you're studying or your job or something like that. Or if you're self-teaching yourself something like an instrument, or, you know, you're just reading books, or you're very open to learning the lessons of your life maybe. But the Queen of Scrolls is similar to Civ, the master artisan, it's the Queen. So it's, you know, the strongest energies, tapping into divine feminine energy, and having, just being very, very strongly independent with this thing, whatever the scrolls is, whether it's, you know, training in a job, studying something, teaching yourself something, whatever it is, you're really mastering it and being very balanced. But don't be scared to tap into those divine feminine energies. Aries. Do you see engagement proposal this year, and if so, when? Engagement, okay. I do see the energy for it is there. You know, I feel like things are, of course, you, as you even said, things are a little bit up in the air at the moment between you, and that does resonate in the energy. But the things that are still there, like the possibility of conception, the possibility of marriage and proposal, that energy is still there, so it's noticeable. But for a timing, I'm not sure. Miss Venus, it comes more to the forefront just because I was available, or because he truly does want to feel motivated to still try. Yeah, I don't think it's simply him being available. I do feel like there's motivation and wanting to try. I'm not saying that that's not there, but the energy of why he comes to forefront again is more to do with the connection that you share. Very unique kind of spiritual connection. And as soon as there's other things out the way of that, that will become more prominent. You know, unless you completely, totally cut him off, if other things are moving out of the way, his path will grow because it's still a possibility for you, you know? Hope that makes sense. Jasmine says, what would be the lesson in dating Marcus? I'll see. I sometimes I have an aversion to telling people their exact lessons sometimes, because I'm told not to do that. You know, part of our lessons of life are figuring them out as well, you know, uncovering them, unearthing them. But there does seem to be some positive lessons of like how you should be treated, noticing a difference in that and understanding your value a bit more. And I'm not saying that you don't understand your value, but we, even if we feel like we value ourselves and we put ourselves, you know, at a good level, we can allow that to drop when we get into a relationship. We maybe allow them to, you know, not treat us greatly. And it seems like you're going to learn lessons about that. Miss Venus says, what do you see happening for my love life this month of February? Okay. I feel like there's a few dates. I feel like at least coming up, maybe towards over the next 3 to 4 weeks, so it might dip into the next month. But I feel like dating mostly. Sid says, will Em be able to carve I love you into the piece of cardboard tonight before I go to bed? Guessing a no on that. Aries, will he come back to my house after he is done with his plans today to talk about everything? Okay. It seems most likely. Yes, it does seem most likely. Miss Venus, what do you see happening for my love life in the month of March? Yeah, so heading a little bit into March, I do still feel like there's that dating energy. So I do feel like you'll have a date with someone you already know, but there is potential of someone else asking you on a date as well, and it happening quite soon after being asked as well. Um, I do feel like this energy spans over February and March. Aries says, will I get any gifts for Valentine's Day from him, and if so, what? I guess a yes, and I feel like you'll go out somewhere together, but also feel the energy of kind of like clothes. Like it feels like it's clothes or something. There's something kind of fabric, like maybe clothes, a bag, a scarf. I don't know, but it feels fabric to me. That's what I'm picking up for Aries. So it says, how do my finances look for the month, for this month? Do you see me winning any money this month? Okay. So I'm guessing a lucky day of the 27th. That's like a lucky day coming through. But apart from that, no, it seems pretty samey and stable. Um, Cornewan 66. Hello and welcome. It's nice to see you, but I don't know what to call you. Aries, a card of my choice. I only have a Kashuk, so it'll have to be okay. So this is about our guides guiding us and giving us messages and things like that. But generally, this one, Hilarion, is different from the Add Some card because this is more about passed over loved ones. So the passed over loved ones are trying to protect your path. They're sending you messages and you are receiving them correctly. So if you feel like you've received a message from a past loved one and you feel like you've followed it or you've taken it on board, you are correct. So that's what I would say. But do look out for the signs from them because they're there and you're picking them up correctly as well. Chances, is there any person coming in my love path soon? Or are you still just seeing an ideal period before N comes along my path around April to May? I see a possibility of you dating someone you kind of already, there's like an I already know this person a little bit kind of energy. There is a possibility of dating someone before, I would say. As Leela, will I be in a permanent relationship this year? Yes, I guess a yes on that. So it says, is there any spirit entity that will be able to stop me having nightmares? Okay. Yeah, it will be a combination. It will be a combination of two new spirits and one old one. And when I say new and old, I just mean like when you got them. I'm not saying they're old, although we're all old souls, but so yes, I would say a combination. You would never be able to stop from totally having them because sometimes they serve a purpose, but to really minimize them as much as possible, I feel like there's free spirits involved in that. Could you please check if I'll be able to gain 160 credits of pass exam by the end of this July? I need them to register for my apprenticeship in pharmacy school, and I hope to. Okay. And I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a yes. So best of luck to you. Jasmine, what's making dating Marcus temporary? Okay. Other things and other people and other places and other things that you'll be drawn to in your life path that are just more important. It's all about where you're going and what's most important to your life path, because you're going to keep honing in on your intuition and you're going to keep following more closely your well, and I say proper path. We have many paths and none of them are really the wrong or the right path, but your higher vibrational path basically is what you're really being drawn to. And he's not, I'm not saying that he's not high vibrational, but he's not where you're going, if that makes sense. Miss Venus says, oh, send me a couple of sweet reels about sending me the best vibes to make my day better. And this is very sweet and supportive about the thing with my, oh, that's very nice. So what are his feelings for you currently, okay? Yeah, I mean, I would certainly say that there's a truthful energy in this. Like, I don't feel like it's, I feel like he's expressing his true feelings, if that makes sense. I do feel like the caring energy, the kindness, thinking of you, hoping things are well. Like, I think that's all, you know, I know he said it, but I think it's just true, you know? And I think he's holding that kind of energy and that care. And, you know, hoping for the best for you and your family as well. So it says, will my money last me until I get paid on the 6th of March? Yes, I get a yes on that. Aries, what's his feelings surrounding what took place last night? Does he have intentions to make amends today? Okay. There is definitely a strong desire to make amends. 100%. I don't feel like he's comfortable with arguments or with falling out. I don't think he's comfortable with that, and I do feel like wanting to make up is the main thing. I do feel like there's a little bit of resistance in terms of not wanting to apologize or to admit faults and things like that. But I think ultimately he does want the resolution, you know, the resolution. Mark, hello and welcome. Aries. So I will just say, if in case you do have anyone new in, hello and welcome. I am Venus and this is Secret Frequencies. And I do readings like this all the time. Today we are doing Crystal Ball and Akashic Tarot. So you're very welcome to ask questions for the Crystal Ball or to choose an Akashic Tarot. If you do want to check out what I do more in depth, I have my website in the description of the video, which is secretfrequencies.com/shop, secretfrequencies.com/shop. And I do more in-depth readings, like one-on-one readings with you guys. I do a Reiki energy cleansing of homes. I do spells like love and money, and I do sound healing sometimes, and everything's more in depth and one-on-one with me. So feel free to check out my information in the description of the video. I also have my Discord, Facebook, and email on there, which are good ways to get in touch with me off stream if you have any questions or queries. Aries says, will he end up going to his brother's house at all this weekend, or will he actually spend time with me this weekend? It's still looking more prominently like spending time with you, and it does look like that's what he wants, what he desires mostly. I do feel like there's possibility of going to the brothers, you know. I do think that's a possibility, but it's definitely not what he wants most. Sid says, why doesn't my twin flame have social media? Okay. Seems like trying to take a break from it for kind of like mental health reasons. Miss Venus says, O's intentions, next actions towards me and our connection. I wonder if he's now coming to peace with the friendship between us. I would be okay with that too. I just have genuine love for him. Intentions and next actions towards me and our connection. Okay. Well, you know, I do have to say that I don't really feel like it's the platonic side is resonating. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible that you guys could have a friendship. You do have a nice connection, you do get on well, and I don't think there's a lot of jealousy between you. I think that's a good thing about your energy and his energy, is that isn't a lot of jealousy within there. So I think you could be friends, even like, let's say, even if you had partners and things like that. I do feel like it's possible, but I just don't feel like the intentions are platonic, you know? Don't really feel that. I feel like they're a little bit stronger than that. Jan says, if I do order the heart-shaped toggle buttons for the coat that I just received, will I like how the coat looks with the buttons a lot more than how it looks just plain at the moment? Yes, I guess a yes on that, and that sounds nice. Jasmine, does this mean I don't have to tell him about the health condition that I'm thinking about, or do I still have to tell him, or will that be a thing to dissolve the relationship? Okay. So the energy does come through that telling about it is the better way. Samina, hello, welcome. Aries. So that's what the reason why he won't have me back on his socials, because of him thinking it will cause future fights between us, or even him thinking it will avoid drama between us. Yeah, I think there's just a desire to not get into any drama, but I think it's a bad thing, because if you don't want your partner on social media to not cause drama, what drama is it? You know, it's like he shouldn't be doing anything on social media that will cause drama. So you do have to think about it like that, you know? Band, hello, welcome. Samina, why are Aslan's not replying to my texts? What's his thoughts and feelings about me? Okay. I feel like there's definitely a giving up energy. There's definitely like a, I just give up energy is really what comes through. Miss Venus, Twin Flame's current thoughts and feelings towards me and about our current disconnection. Is the regret setting in yet? Okay. Yeah, I do feel like there's already regret. Samina says what chakras I need to work on. Root mostly. Root mostly. Sid says, well, watching the third eye video you did on YouTube be enough to balance my third eye to the point where I stop hearing the loud noises from spirits passing through. I am getting a yes on that, but I do think I will do an update of those chakra videos at some point with maybe a better mic, but I do get yes, so that's good. The frequencies are good. The chimes that I use are very powerful. So that whole collection, this chakra sound healing collection playlist on my YouTube, it is really good to listen to. I know it's not the best quality of sound, but those chimes are very powerful. So yes. Miss Lord, hello and welcome. Will someone visit me this month? Okay. Yes, I get a yes. Fancy's current feelings from Jay towards me. I get care come through mostly, caring energy. Ella, could you please pull a card for Andrea and I for some guidance? Oh, the lightning bolt. Okay. So the lightning bolt looks scary, and of course there is a reason for that. So the lightning bolt is all about a big change that is out of your control. So that's kind of the warning, is that it's going to be a big change, but it's going to be something you can't control. Sometimes it is very negative, but it's not always. So the lightning bolt can be very negative. I know my lightning bolt moment was very negative. It can be a little bit akin to the tower card in the tarot, but I'd say not quite as intense. And it's not always bad, but it can be. But basically, it's something that happens that's outside of your control, and it sets your path on a slightly different course. But in the end, it's for the best. So sometimes when you're going through this lightning bolt, you feel so disheartened, you feel like everything's going wrong, and you feel like everything's against you. But the path that sets you out on in the end is for the best, and that's why things need to be shaken up. It's just unfortunate that it is quite often a negative event that happens. So I'm sorry to say that. Samina says, what is the impact of my messages I have sent to Asan today? Okay. I do feel like there'll be some provoking of a little bit of thought, and provoking of some emotions and things like that. But I don't see reply at the moment. I see reading, but I don't see reply just yet. I'm sorry. That's all I have. A huge bottle of sparkling water. Samina, what my intuition is trying to tell me about what? So that's a little bit too broad of a question. Specific questions for the crystal ball, because broad questions can open too much of a reading. So in broad questions, I could do like a full reading, you know. It could be what your intuition is trying to tell you about your love path, your work path, your spiritual path. It could open up a full reading that could be about half an hour long. And if you do want an in-depth reading, you're very welcome to purchase one, secretfrequencies.com. But on the stream, we just do a little bit more quick fire questions, I would say. Is Lee planning to send me a message? Yes. Sid, will I need to use vapor rub again tonight to be able to breathe out of my nose? I guess a yes on that, unfortunately. Fancies, is my relationship with Jay permanent? I get a very high possibility of it being permanent, yes. And you say a dragon card, which unfortunately we do not have. We do not have any dragon. We only have Akashic at the moment, but I'll pull an Akashic for Thand. Okay, the War of the Roses. So you're getting the War of the Roses, which shows a conflict, a disagreement, a misunderstanding in a love connection. Most likely, it's the intimate connection, the partner, the romantic relationship. That's what's most common with this. And it shows that there's going to be a conflict. But when we're drawing it the right way, it's showing the possibility of resolution and the possibility of, if you just be humble or they just be humble, maybe the right person apologizes, things can work out. We're not getting it this way, which will be a little bit more like maybe it won't work out. So it does seem like something you can work through, but it's a bit of a warning. Conflict, disagreement, misunderstanding, something like that. Jasmine, can I still give my 6-year-old green smoothies at the consistency that I've been giving him, or is it bad for him? If it's bad, what else is coming up to give him, because I can't get him to eat enough veggies? Okay. No, I'm getting quite positive energy around the smoothie energy. So I would say yes, it's fine. It seems fine. Maybe you've uncovered a good way to get those vegetables in there, you know. Jan says, is there a reason why lately my guides have been showing me a lot of confirmation regarding D? Are they just trying to say what I'm doing at the moment is good, or is there another reason? Yeah, they're being in support. So yeah, you're correct about that. Samina, Esther's thoughts and feelings towards me. There seems to be a little bit of heightening here. So there seems to be a little bit more being drawn towards you a little bit of a stronger energy, stronger connection, stronger focus. So I do see that. As Leah says, do you see yourself living in America permanently? I think it's a little bit early to say that, but I'm definitely having a wonderful time. That's what I would say. You're sweet. Aries says, what's going to happen in the upcoming weeks for my connection? Yeah, it's a little bit too broad. Specific questions, please, if you can, guys. And JNG, he doesn't want to try again at all. So should we check on that? See if we get a yes or no for JNG. I am getting a no. I'm really sorry to say that. I really don't like to give the negative answers, especially not when it's someone brand new in and their first answer's not great, unfortunately. Miss Venus says, oh wow, dates for the rest of February with who? Lord, there's no one at the moment. Are these friend dates? Now I definitely see the potential of going on a date with someone you already know. So that could maybe Omar, I'm not sure, but someone you already know. And then there's another one of being asked on a date as well. So there's two, and I would say that's probably a new person or someone that you don't know too well. Van says a love card. I don't. I'm so sorry. As soon as I go shopping, I will update you guys. At the moment, this is all we have. Crystal Ball and Akashic Tarot. But I do. There's bone reading. But I must have been a not great time last night because not many of you could make it. Samina says, why Estes distanced himself from me and started ignoring me? Okay. There's interest elsewhere, unfortunately, I'm really sorry to say. Jasmine says, why did I dream about Brandon again recently? There doesn't seem to be too much of a spiritual reason to this besides being having a bit of a spiritual connection and being in your subconscious a little bit, but nothing like a real specific message coming through, if that makes sense. Miss Venus says Akashic, of course. Oh, the King of Forces upside down. Oh, the same old story. We don't want this. We want him this way. Very unfortunate. So, a man in your life being out of balance of his mind, body, and spirit. You know, there's something that's out of balance. Maybe he's not fully connected with his life path. Maybe he's not fully connected with his guides, or his inner self, or his self growth. You know, unfortunately, a little bit out of balance. But the positive thing when we draw the King of Forces, at least, is the potential. There's no reason to draw the King of Forces if this person doesn't have the potential to become this, you know? So yes, there is out of balance, and it's something we're kind of sick of seeing with these men. But no offense to the guys in the chat. But you know, the potential of growing, coming into oneself, coming to listen to the guides and the intuition, or at least just maybe, you know, some people aren't super spiritual, but they do just end up going with the flow of the universe without really realizing it. So it could happen. Samina says, when will my finances start getting better? And I'm getting March. Seems to be just after the middle of March. There's some possibility of increased abundant energy. And Samina says, am I healed in self-love? Self-love looks that, oh, I'm so sorry, that was so loud. Self-love looks very, very good. So whatever you're doing, keep up your self-care, keep up valuing yourself, you know. Putting yourself first sometimes is okay. So yeah, but your self-love looks good. I knocked my ring by accident. Aries. What are my partner's deceased father and my deceased father doing or wanting me to know about our relationship? Sorry, just can't pronounce that for some reason. So what are they wanting you to know about the relationship? Okay. So it's not that they're wanting you to know a specific thing like a message. It's that they're helping to guide you. And what they're saying on that card is that you are being guided. You're doing the right thing and it's positive. So that's nice. Miss Lard says, will I get my 10,000s this month? Fortunately, I guess a no on that, and I'm really sorry to say that I guess a no on that. Eslila, will Matt move to Marie this year? Okay. There's possibility of this in around November time. Jan says, is this person that I might be in a relationship with someone I talk to daily already, or someone who I don't talk to as much? I do get a regular feeling, but I don't know if I would say daily. Daily might be a little bit too much for how this feels. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do like it. I greatly appreciate that. Miss Venus says, do you see Twin Flame doing some type of small but safe, aka not emotionally invested, gestures towards me anytime soon? He typically starts to hover over me and my friends and what I do until he reaches out. And if so, when? Okay. I feel a high prominence of reaching out the beginning of next week, actually. I do feel high prominence, and like you say, it's probably going to be something quite small and casual, but I do sense it. Sylvia, I would like to know if my husband is telling me the truth. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm getting the no on that, so I'm really sorry to say. But as I always say with new people, when they have your full name and date of birth, it does help me connect your energy a little bit better. So I'm hopeful that is not an accurate answer, because I don't like to give the negative answers, but unfortunately, Sylvia, I do get a no on telling you the truth, and I am sorry to say that. I love your name though, Sylvia. It's a very nice name. Jasmine says, will I hurt Marcus when we go our separate ways, or will he be cool and mutual about it? I don't like being the one to hurt people's feelings. Okay. There definitely isn't a hurt energy, but there is a mutual energy as well. Of course, separating from a connection, there's always going to be some level of hurt for most people. But I do feel like it's mostly a mutual and being pretty cool kind of thing. Miss Venus says, so if I'm potentially starting a relationship in April, when am I going to meet this man? Which should technically be before April. Yes, so I would say I feel like there's open possibilities at the moment, because I do feel like I feel a little bit like your paths are coming more into visual, like they're coming more into being able to read more, basically. But I do feel like the path of Omar is having a bit of an impact, like what's going on with that. But I do feel like the path towards a new person is kind of solidifying and becoming a little bit more, readable, basically. But what I would say is, it might not be like we're officially in a relationship, but you're at the point where you know that it's going to happen. You probably will have intuition about it, and they will too. It's kind of like you'll both be on the same page. Yeah, the energy isn't completely settled, which is why I would say to keep a check on this. But it does look like, so this is still Miss Venus. It does look like it's solidifying. It's looking more visual, which is why I feel like I'm getting some deep possibilities, if you will. Jasmine says, is the communication being short the only reason why she will have upset on Valentine's Day with him, or is there more to why the upset happens? Yeah, the communication being short. So not I did say it. I said not getting enough attention. Um, yeah, not getting enough attention, feeling like a little bit neglected on that day. Yes. Christy or Christy? Is it Christy? Can you do a reading about me and my boyfriend's financial stage at the age of 25? He's Virgo and I'm Aries. Not really. That's kind of like a full reading kind of thing. It's more specific questions for the crystal ball. I'll pull you a card. Let's see what happens. It's for Christy. Oh, Two Wilds. Okay. So Two Wilds is about a big decision that you'll have to make. So if we do link this, it's the scrolls anyway. Generally, it does link to finances and work usually, or home finances or work. And it's Two Wilds, so it's having a really big decision come up. So where you're suggesting here the age of 25, and then we pulled the card. So I would say it will be around that time. So a really big decision will come where you have to make a decision between two things, likely be two jobs, or it could be a job and a course where you're going to go ahead, so two things that link to work in some way. Or it could be, so it's very likely to be, because you're asking about it, two job opportunities that you're going to have to choose between. But it can be occasionally with the scrolls linking to the root chakra, it can be about living situation as well. So it can be like, do I live in this country or this country? It can be or this house or this house. It can be a decision like that as well, but it's most likely a decision on work. So it kind of resonates with your question, but you're going to have to be very intuitive to choose the right and more abundant decision, And guys, please don't repeat your questions. I know if you're new, you're not sure how it works, but I do try to answer questions. I'm behind in the chat always, and I will get to you hopefully. I only have 10 minutes left anyway, but I will try to get through as many as I can. Daniel EPD. Saul died for his breach of faith. This is like a Bible verse. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Firebird, hello. John. First DIY sewing project. Gonna jazz up this dear faux fur coat I bought. I would love to see it. I think you should post a picture of it in the Discord, because I would love to see that. A fur coat of heart buttons. I would certainly wear it. I would. Olga, hello and welcome. Jasmine. Oh, moderating. Please refer to Jasmine in the chat. Please refer to Jasmine's capital letters in the chat. So guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please do like it. The more likes I get on the video, the more I will come back with crystal ball again, you know. Miss Venus with O is interesting though, because you always pick up his strong emotions, and I do too. But it's a start/stop energy with him, so I'm not holding my breath with him anymore. I know. I agree, because I've rooted for him for such a long time, and he kind of let me down. So yeah. Miss Venus, has he resolved those issues that make him stop yet? I do feel like there's active work on it, but to say resolved, I'm going to say no on that. I'm really sorry. Olga, you're very welcome to ask questions. Firebird, my clairsentience / claircognizance seems to come at random moments. Is there a particular like time or situation that's at strongest, you ask? No, it definitely is trying to come in at times where it's more needed. So I would really slow down and pay attention when it comes. But I don't feel like it's a particular time it's at strongest. I feel like it's something you could hone in on to work with at any time you wanted, you know? Miss Venus says, missed the part of the question. Oh, sorry. Twin Flames' current thoughts and feelings towards me. Yeah, so there's the missing you, there's the regret, but there's also the doubt as well, and care and love as well. Firebird, how is Scorpio feeling about my recent DMs to him? I get confused energy come through. I actually get confused energy. Samina says, does Asan miss and think about me? Not too much at the moment, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say. Miss Venus says, already regret, that was fast. Yeah, there's already regret, because I feel like, it kind of feels like there's already contemplation about, did I make the right decision, or am I making the right decision? And I feel like regret comes in quite naturally with that. So yeah, I do feel it's already there. Jasmine says, for clarity, me telling Marcus about my health condition will be the thing that will... No. Not the awkward ties about, sorry. Firebird, how does AP Aries feel about seeing me next? I'm positive with like a slight little bit of excitement. Firebird, is Scorpio as emotionally guarded towards Miss W as he is to me? No. I got a no on that. Thank you, Jasmine. Samina, well, my intuition is trying to tell me about my love life, about my ongoing interaction with Asan. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's pushing you more to a new path. It seems like you're really being guided to a new path. That's for Samina. Allah, how does Andrea feel about me today, and what could be his thoughts? I feel quite a strong energy at the moment. I feel kind of like a bit of a willpower energy, like I can and I will do this, and you are involved in that, like you are an inspiration and a reason, but it feels quite nice at the moment. Thank you. Miss Venus, let's ask directly, is the date with the person I already know with Omar or someone else? Okay. It's not coming through very clearly. Personally, I would likely say somebody else, because I feel like I do pick up Omar's energy quite well. But I'm so sorry, I just keep knocking these creaky chairs. I do pick up Omar's energy pretty well, so I would say it's more likely someone else, but I don't want to totally rule him out just because I'm not feeling his energy at the moment. Miss Venus, does the twin flame believe I'm not the one for him, and if so, how does he make sense of his persistent feelings for me and strong attraction that keeps coming back after these years? Yeah, it's complex, because I think that's a lot where the regret is at, because I feel like there's some kind of inner knowing that's kind of meant to be in some way, but then there's also just that kind of more grounded, normal, logical energy that's saying, you know, I don't really know what that feeling is, and I'm not really feeling this, if that makes sense, in the more conscious mind, if that makes sense. So I have 5 minutes, so I'm just going to scroll down. If anybody hasn't had, Christy, it's fine, don't worry. It can be hard to understand how we're going when you're new, and I'm so behind in the chat and you're like, why isn't she answering me? So it's okay, don't worry about that. But let me just see. So if anybody doesn't have any questions answered, if you're new in, I'll be answering yours now. Alan York, hello and welcome. Mohammed, how does Sophia feeling towards me now? Definitely a dimming in that energy. Not really much thought about you at the moment. Kind of moved on a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say. Miss Venus, yes, that's what I feel too. Twin Flame will want to reconnect in some way, so that makes sense, but what would be his intention to reach out with something small and casual this time? I feel like it would be a compulsion. Like, I feel like there's already a desire to do it, and he's holding back from it. So I feel like it'll just be going with that desire without pulling back, you know? Actually, Leela says, does Monica miss me? Yes, I guess a yes on that one. Zora, hello and welcome. Will Kubra come back to our house? She is our employee. Okay. I guess a yes on that. Christy says, so me and my boyfriend will be in a good financial stage comfortably. If you're making the right decision, so you have that big decision to make, so it seems like there is a possibility. But getting a card that's saying 2 decisions, it's telling us there's a possibility. So be very intuitive and very careful when making your decisions financially, I would say. Be very, very mindful and careful, because yes, it seems like there is an opportunity for things to be really great for you. Zara says, will I meet my destined life partner in 2026? Unfortunately, I get a no on that. I'm really sorry to say. Firebird says, was crystals like amethyst or quartz help refine or strengthen my claircognizance and clairsentience? And he suggested crystal. Yes. I would say clear quartz is perfect because it amplifies anything. It's like a battery, and it's like a blank kind of canvas, if you will. So although other crystals are great, like amethyst for the third eye, yes, go ahead. But I think clear quartz is really, really great. You can get like a golden topaz. That would be perfect for the third eye. But yeah, amethyst, golden topaz, clear quartz, and everyone's different. It does vary. You can use some more like indigo-y, kind of, maybe even lapis lazuli kind of crystals when you're, although they tend to be more throat chakra linked generally. If you're aiming for communication with your higher self or anything like that, indigo stones can be pretty good. Malachite can be good as well. So malachite, amethyst, golden topaz, maybe lapis lazuli if you really want to focus on communication and connection with like guides or higher self, and clear quartz, very underestimated crystal at times, I would say. But sorry, yeah, it's lovely to have you. I hope to see you back. You're very welcome, Miss Venus, of course. I'm so glad I could catch you. Zara says, are you sure? Are you referring to the card? Sorry. And Sun says, feeling better, better about me now. So what does this person think about you? Okay. I would say there's mostly intrigue. So wanting to know you a little bit better, being intrigued. Christy says, when are you going to be online again like those readings I am today? Years old in this. I know. So hello and welcome. So people who are new, I am Venus. This is Secret Frequencies, and I do readings like this all the time. I have my very small travel crystal ball, and I do this pretty much everywhere. But we only have Acacia Tarot at the moment. I'm going shopping on the weekend. We should get more cards for the next reading. But there's bone reading. There's channelings. There's different things coming up. We can do aura reading. There's tons of different things coming up. So do stay tuned. Stay subscribed. I try to come on like most days. crystal ball mostly, but we do other types, so like channeling, pendulum, um, even sometimes things like starseed, past life, things like that, past, present, and future love readings, candle wax reading, matchstick divination we might do soon. So do stay tuned. Tons of different types of readings. You can check out my channel, previous videos, if you just want to get a little bit of an idea of what I do. I'm open to suggestions, I'm open to requests. If you see a video that I did in the past that you want me to do again, reach out to me. My Facebook, email, and Discord are all in the description of the video. And so is my website. So if you do want to look at the sessions I offer, it's secretfrequencies.com/shop. Oh, Miss Venus, thank you so much again for everything you have done to support my family energetically too. Mom was telling me yesterday, oh my gosh, I wanted to give something to your friend. And well, I am so glad to just combine the energies with you guys and to be a positive part of that journey and to help out as much as I possibly can. I will always try, you know. Liverpool, hello and welcome. I'm really sorry that I am jumping off, but it is nice to see you. I hope I catch you at a better time soon. Um, Firebird says, do you feel the energy vibration of crystals? Yes, and I do work with them much more intuitively than, you know, I will like, I mean, I have nothing against the crystal Bible. Go ahead and read what it says, but I would always go with intuition. So even sometimes like I will have a strong intuition to use a certain crystal for a certain spell or a certain chakra, and it's not anything that I would say in the books, you know, because just at that moment, at that right time, that crystal resonated with what I wanted, even though it could be like amethyst for the root, or you know, something you wouldn't usually do, maybe a citrine for the, I don't know, crown or something, you know, just something where you go more intuitively than what a book might say. Yeah, Jan, I would love to see a picture. It sounds really great. Miss Venus, thank you so much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate that. Rain, I'm just jumping off, Rain. I'm so sorry, but I am having a great time. I am having a great time. So thank you so much. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do like it. Again, all of my information is in the description of the video. And yes, so I'll be on soon. I would probably try to find out if anybody does want a bone reading, give me your preferred times and time zones, because I tried it last night and we didn't get many people on, but I would love to do it again if anybody else wants one. So yeah, love, light and blessings to each of you, and I really, really hope to see you soon.